for TNC. You've got T1 who are 2-1. You've got TNC who are 1-2. If TNC win this, T1, Boom, and TNC are all 2-2. It's very important for TNC and TNC fans alike that they do takes one. But that being said, same thing really for T1, because then they'd be 3-1. They'd really split themselves from the rest of the pack and move into second over Fnatic. Could be a very big moment for both these teams that you remember looking back on the season when we get into like that week 5, that week 6, how close it could have been.
Even a master falters.
I don't know. I like this DPC season. You know, just the build up towards a major, and can't believe we're gonna actually have teams in different regions playing against each other. It's been forever.
That Singapore major.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun
for sure. Like Dota should be great again. Regions against regions. We're gonna have a major winners. Only 2 major, however.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. But let's check this game. Armel on Ember Spirit on a mid lane against the Pugna. Pugna starting with the Nether Blast. Armel going for that slide, securing a creep and possibly dodge that blast from Pugna. So far, there are 3 heroes on the top lane, just getting a bit more farm to the Underlord and the Tims. Dragging the creep wave back.
Taking a lot of damage over bottom. The Thunder Strike and the right clicks from the Metamorphosis from Gabbi. Just surviving. By the way, I just want to mention, I know they were asking on the panel, what's your favorite interaction with Soulbind? Mine is if you've got Shard as Pugna, and then you life drain from the Soulbound units, it'll split both of them onto 2 more units if they're close enough. And then it's kind of crazy.
Say that again. I was just reading the shard. For every 175 seconds of channel, another secondary life drain is created, targeting another random enemy hero.
Yeah. So it splits every 1.75. But if you've, I'm pretty sure if you've got it Soulbind, and you can have 4 sucks, it'll split again, and then split again. If you can,
it's like unlimited splits. You tested it?
Oh, I tested it, or a friend of ours tested it. And he had like 10 axes, Soulbind, Life Drain, and every one of them got hit by the end of the duration.
All right, I want to see this, Pugna. If you're listening,
I call it the ultimate suck. It's really just the best Soulbind if they can pull it off.
Yeah, Black's like, yeah, you know, Doom, we're gonna go with that one. Pretty standard stuff. Couldn't think of anything else. But Roar is good. Like,
yeah,
Roar is good. Gabbi doing fine on the bottom lane, 12 CS, has a fluffy hat going towards the Falcon Blade, some mana regen, some damage, a bit of a HP on top of that. Not too bad of an item for TB.
Again, Falcon Blade, it's just one of those items, again, doesn't really build in anything else. Is it just the slot taker? Is it worth the gold?
TB builds like expensive items. You get Scotty, you get S and Y most likely. Manta style's also fine here to get rid of some stuff like you kill Phantom pretty quickly with the Manta. Get out of the Frostbite, remove the slows, so it could be pretty good. Remove the Cripify. So Falcon Blade is going to be in the inventory for a very long time.
So we'll see how quickly he can get that. Meanwhile, Karl sitting top of the CS at the current moment, 75. Ember only 11-4. Oh, a bit one-sided. A whole lot of damage coming through onto the Disruptor. But Febby survives. Abby into that Metamorphosis once again. Trying to secure some CS, doing a good job so far. And Armel sitting at about close to half health at the moment with that bottle. Has one more sip ready to go in that Flame Dart. But again, Karl just maintaining a good position on the CS. Gabbi, though, getting chased down. And now they're under the tier 1 tower. They're getting first blood. Xepher combines with Kuku to get this kill onto the Terrorblade.
It's really not worth it, because like Big Wave was pushing in. Febby just decides to ditch, secures the mid rune. I think in this situation, you're fine with having one position 4 moving to one side, trying to secure their bounty rune, rune for your mid laner, and Ember Spirit can check the bottom rune.
Glimpse back, but not really going to matter much. Febby's working here with not a lot of health and mana now.
This reward
That was during Metamorphosis. That was really bad that the TB goes down in that situation.
He lost so much. A lot of XP, a lot of CS. Still doing okay, 21. We didn't talk about the Underlord. He is the king of this game, playing into Phantom Assassin. Early on, you just don't care. kpii, we see that quite often these days in both Southeast Asia and Chinese region. Off-laners just getting that bottle. So much value you get from it. Refill from the bounty runes. And yeah, Underlord, like you drag the creep wave to the side, which means he's just gonna get more farm from that Firestorm.
Middle tower is under attack.
I'll take
Kuku controlling this lane. Terrorblade at this point, but not expecting so much more of this yet. Again, Decrepify onto Ember, level 6 for Karl. Now we just wait until he gets the shard and we get the soul bind.
Just have to wait 15 more minutes.
Yeah. If you wait, it'll potentially come.
Oh, Febby looks pretty dead.
Yeah, he's trying to run away, glimpse back, get some distance. Oh, the Crystal Nova, one more right click is enough. Xepher taking out Febby, so now they have a kill on both these heroes bottom.
It's just too much slow, too much damage. Whenever TB does not have meta, they can't play aggressive. They can't get a kill. Once meta is up, Gabbi will be able to farm, put some pressure on the heroes.
This is not the best lane so far for TNC bottom. Where they're, like, where they're at right now, is this okay for them? Is this enough for what they're getting? Or is it really starting to favor T1?
Once this meta is gone, Gabbi needs to be in the jungle. Like, there's just going to be too much pressure when he's in melee mode. Beastmaster getting closer to level 6. Possible rotations from your mid laner. Pugna trying to put some more pressure on a mid tower. You asked, like, what's the situation like for them? Top lane's going well. Underlord getting a lot of free farm. TB's still doing okay. But yeah, I just don't think he should be in the lane anymore. Just go back to the jungle.
They need to be careful about their mid too. Karl's putting the pressure on. Another blast, just knocking out so much health on. It's given the opportunity to do so. If you lose that mid tier 1 quickly, it opens up the map for T1. See already some wards around the jungle. Xepher picking up another. Keep that vision, do what he can. And far so good for both teams. I think it's pretty close. You need to be very careful on Gabbi. If he gets caught out again, that could be a big problem. And
has 1 point in Sunder available, but he's just gonna dodge. That's why I said he needs to be in the jungle, because this type of rotation T1 did in a game with the Raid King, where they just TP from the top lane, put the pressure on the enemy safe lane. Kind of standard stuff. I saw Gabbi going to the jungle, then going back to the lane, a bit greedy. But, okay, mid lane, Thames is gonna drop. Karl with the full combo on him. 5-0, man. TNC, they're kind of looking weak in the lane stage. Like, decision-making wise, what needs to be done is still not, like, top-notch.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They kind of flounder in the lanes. It's been a bit of a struggle. Karl gets smoked before he makes the move up towards top. He's also in place. Small life drain onto the Underlord. He's stunned and killed. Karl with another one. He is rotating, making his presence felt, and from an even game to a 2K lead. But here comes TNC. Stick with Karl for a second, but the silence from the Phantom's embrace of Whitemon keeps this Pugna alive. It looks like Whitemon will die for the first kill for TNC. They'll also get the tower up in the top lane, but they don't get the Pugna, which is what they really, really wanted. So Team 1 are happy to give up their support, as well as the fact that they just blow up Gabbi.
Wow! Man, Gabbi is not having a game. Already died 3 times. 9 minutes in on a TV. It's just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Should have been in a triangle instead. Maybe send illusion, try to get the last hit with it. Ember puts the pressure. Ember's the one guy that can't really be caught by their heroes. Unless they use the silence, they already killed the Grimstroke. TB once again, keeping top. Roar.
Save this Ember. So far, so good in the save situation, but do they come back and get any kills out of this? Febby comes in, they got Karl, he's back, not really that close, and Armel just blows up, tries to get something done, but they're playing with fire, and, well, his fire goes out. This is 8-1, and complete and utter devastation right now.
There's a big difference to what TB has and what Phantom Assassin have at the moment, so just almost full Battle Fury on a Phantom Assassin, while your TB has a Falcon Blade.
Really not,
Can't really compare these two items.
yeah, it's not even close. It's night and day at the moment. You look at where the PA is 1,100 gold ahead. It's just such a big bump since it felt like it was kind of close, and then they came bottom and just took Gabbi's life.
I do that.
And they're looking for Armel again. TNC kind of seemed a little lost from the, all the pressure that's coming in.
A little lost, but TB can't catch a break.
He needs a map right now. He needs a way to find his path back into this. Trying to do what he can. He's got 800 gold just to save it up.
And that's 11-minute Battle Fury, Magic Wand, Phantom Assassin.
Wow.
So pretty good timing. I don't see any ancient stacks so far, but should be all right. They were more focusing on the lanes from T1.
TNC find Crystal Maiden. They get the kill. Freezing Field that gets used. Armel now out of mana. There was a TP, both top and to the outpost. Both get stopped. Actually a 4x spree that goes towards Armel. And they are pressuring the tier 2 tower with
Dire's
these creeps,
top
but
tower
not adding
is
to
under
it.
attack.
Phantom's Embrace,
Dire's
Life
top
Drain
tower is
with
under
another
attack.
blast, all coming in while Decrepified. It seems like no hero on TNC can survive that.
There's just so much damage coming out from Pugna. T1 should use their advantage, what they have right now. Their heroes feel really, really strong. Like Leash Mechanic against Pango is going to be great. Against the Ember Spirit, Gabbi, Smoke into Triangle, they know which one is real.
Phantom's Embrace on the run, back to form on the green in. And he'll sunder Xepher, so he'll survive this one. Trying to get in and turn this one around. There's the remnant forward. Armel, Sleight of Fist, they got on the Xepher. Pangolier is used on the Pangolier, but Beastmaster caught away from his team.
Rest of the team not there to follow it up. They still get a kill on Febby, so that's okay-ish. Lost a bit of an advantage that they had. This Grimstroke, Phantom's Embrace, plus Pugna's Decrepify is such a strong combination. The reason why we see mid Grimstrokes going for that Ethereal Blade is you cannot attack the Phantom. So you can't get rid of that. At the end, you're gonna get that high rend damage.
But that's a decent fight for TNC. They do lose Febby. Would have been nice if they lost nothing, but Gabbi stays alive. Ember helps to get a couple of kills. They bump up that net worth a little bit. They're starting to fight their way back in.
Problem
still need
is,
a lot of time, though.
JaCkky's untouched. JaCkky is just king of the jungle right now.
Radiant's
Farming,
middle tower is under
not
attack.
being contested at all. And yeah, again, lane being pushed in on the bottom. So pretty free game for Phantom Assassin.
This might help, though. Radabatos for the Underlord. That with Pit of Malice is a good bit of control if you can keep them there. Manta being built by the Terrorblade. Has himself a bounce. Okay, not worth.
Their
So
tower
working with that
defense is
Yasha.
pretty good. Like just a combination of TNC's heroes, bit of Malice. You have that Road of Atos. kinetic field. Like Firestorm alone can pretty much deal the most damage in a team fight if they use. And you also want to max out those spells. You want to max out Glimpse first, then put more points in kinetic field. I want to see Pit of Malice maxed out straight away.
Once you get this Rod of Atos max, Pit of Malice,
are scanning.
have that disabled duration up there and have it work with the Rod of Atos. We'll see. They're smoked up. They're coming around looking for the Phantom Assassin. This is a kill they need to take. And ooh, Phantom Assassin, Remnant by the PA. Blink Strike away. Do they have the distance to cover? They've got a Remnant. To get JaCkky. Finally, something going the way of TNC with a big kill like that.
This gives some time to DB to be controlling the top part of the jungle. Great kill on the Phantom Assassin. Still a bit worried about the Roshan, where T1 gets like a kill or two, transition that into Roche. PA picks it up. They continue to snowball. Ton of damage on the towers. Beastmaster, Necrobook 3 about to be finished. And PA, yeah, she's going into Deso, it seems.
Going into the Deso, now TB making up a lot of ground. Half the distance of an ulti orb away from finishing the match. Ember, I believe he's finished. Bottom, Kuku coming in, Dark Rift, trying to escape, Pit of Malice, freezing field, just won't have the damage.
Not even close.
Just a little scratch. Tis just the scratch. Dagger for Grimstroke. It's gonna be a lot of gold to save up as a 5.
Yeah, just needs 2,000 gold to buy a Blink Dagger.
Easy gold for a 5.
Mixing things up, 2-2-2-1 build. This is when all your spells are good, you're playing 5 and you know, you can't decide what you want to go for. I'd still prefer if he gets like 1 point in Phantom's Embrace, so you need 3 hits to kill it, and then max out the Inkswall.
They're pressuring bottom. We'll see what he poke it.
TNC's tower defense is pretty good. Just Firestorm, Sleight of Fist. So something T1 needs to be careful about. And TNC, they're recovering. Like, you can see the gold advantage. At one point it was 4k, now it's down to 1k, closer to 2k.
For
but
my coffers.
it keeps changing.
He's recovered. He's seen second in the net worth. He had such a tough early game. We see this kind of a lot. These carries just having a tough laning phase, and they're allowed to recover. And I say allowed because it seems like these teams just kind of put their pressure elsewhere, and then the other position 1 ends up having time to just farm back into the game.
Your team needs to make some space, you put down the ward so your carry can farm. You know, he's had a lot of trouble in the laning stage, try to secure a triangle. I see, what, 1, 2 observer, sentry wards in the Radiant Triangle, but would want to see an observer ward. There's a Hawk scouting them out.
Invisibility.
And they have the damage, looks like it. Whoa. That was close.
It's quite a lot of damage. It's a budget E-Blade build. You pick Pugna and the Grimstroke, so you don't have to farm that Ethereal Blade.
Go away, Tucson, now silence, no roll. And they'll get another. Tim's ends up dead. Gabbi shows up. Not sure he wants to be there. Oh, does he? That one's a miss with the kinetic field. And now Gabbi really unsure about how much he wants to fight this. Goes to the man to the Primal War. Used a lot of damage on a Kuku. Missed the Primal War. They buy back on the Pangolier. They lose themselves to the Disruptor. And Xepher, he's been caught. Searing Chains. Right-click damage from Gabbi. Oh, he's set until he's dead. And there's the slight Xepher gun.
And there's not enough damage for TNC to go inside a pit to take the Roche, but there is enough damage to try to take a tier 1 tower on a mid lane. T1 Yeah, just faking it.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Still, Pangolier's laugh, the best one.
We'll hear it soon, hopefully.
He needs to do something, except for the buyback, so that we can hear it. Maybe after a buyback, you're not going to be able to do many stuff. So
He's got 1,700 gold. Probably going for what, the blink dagger, you'd say?
most likely, yeah, just the positioning. They lack the initiator. Like, you don't get that from the Underlord. So yeah, mid laners okay-ish, try to set things up with the Searing Chains, but rolling in the back line, trying to find the Grimstroke possibly, and the Crystal Maiden, take them out. Well, also a Pugna, so they have 1 4 staff on
Dire's
Pugna,
middle tower is under
which is
attack.
gonna help quite a lot against the Searing Chains, who they try to focus. Bit of Malice, Rod of Atos, just push them out of the focus.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Coming over, KT TPing out. Too late. And Gabbi's still working on Scotty. Doing a good job. He's 1 component of gold of the way there.
I think this game, his build should be Scotty into MKB, so you have that something and then into a BKB. We'll see how things are gonna work out for him. Didn't die for a very long time, so should be okay. Getting that Scotty online, tank up himself and the illusions.
Well, Pango, gotta remember he can fall back. Feel the damage is there, now gone for 70. So we definitely won't hear that laugh for a little while, and some of that JaCkky had killed the Disruptor pretty easily prior to that. They don't go into Roche just yet. JaCkky working on the BKB. They do ping it out though. They use their time.
They have more than enough damage. They know Pango does not have a buyback. This is their team fight. Minus armor from the Deso, Beastmaster Aura. Like the Roshan dies in 10-15 seconds.
Roshan has fallen to the tower.
So first Roche into the hands of T1. No contest there from TNC, as you know. The Terrorblade is looking for the Scotty. They're trying to build up these items so they feel confident enough to fight. It's very tough for TNC still, but they're waiting for their moment to finally be able to keep up, I'd say, with T1 at times. They don't want to compete against them going into this Roche pit, as it could put them even further.
Now T1 needs to start putting some more pressure. Roar is available. That's their stun. Great combination with the Grimstroke. Grimstroke just wants to get a Blink Dagger for himself to be able to execute the combo. Much easier. Still a long way until he can farm that Phantom Assassin, working towards the Basher. BKB is done. Just needs to use the Courier.
BKB coming out. Big
Radiant's
power spike
bottom
here for
tower is
T1.
under attack.
Specifically for JaCkky in these fights. Let's see how the Terrorblade handles this. The tier 2 dropping pretty easily. Again, TNC don't want to fight into this Aegis. They'll probably maneuver themselves around the map, especially until the Terrorblade gets that Scotty to a point where they avoid T1 as best they can.
Tower has fallen.
I don't think T1 is stopping. They understand they have so much advantage. It says 5k, but I feel like it's much more. KP, he's not tanky at all. Like, there's no magic resistance coming out from this build. 4 staff plus Rod of Atos. Disarm. Pugna can't keep them safe and healthy. So they dealt almost 1,000 damage to the tower. Actually more, but yeah. TB still trying to farm up, getting closer to his Scotty.
So broken. Move forward on this. Them. Thunder, there's Rod of Atos. 4 staff, glimpse, all coming through. Kinetic field, Soulbind. Backs off and now leashes up to the Underlord. They don't get that kill onto JaCkky. All that used and don't even pop the Aegis.
They're just buying time for TB. T1 respecting the Firestorm damage that's coming out from it.
Yeah.
Bit of Malice maxed out, Rod of Atos, Kinetic Field, a lot of circles to keep them in place while Firestorm deals the damage. Also, Ember Spirit with the chains could set things up, so they don't still feel comfortable going high ground right away. Afraid of the buybacks. Pangolier doesn't have that blink dagger yet. Pango very poor.
He really hasn't been much, and you can see where he is in terms of well behind. It's pretty crazy how much farm this Xepher Crystal Maiden has acquired going into the BKB. About 2,500 gold away from that.
Oh, good timing from T1. 3 people trying to get back their outpost. Should catch at least one.
Radiant's
Go for the
middle tower
Disruptor
is under
and
attack.
Febby turn. Okay. Armel, Gabbi, and KP will Dark Rift away.
Okay, so Karl also has a 4-staff. I can understand why you want to have that item when you're playing against the Underlord. Try to push someone out when they're using the Dark Rift. Could be pretty big play.
Be a high IQ play if we get to see it. I don't know if I've seen many successes with something like
This'll
that.
come in handy.
Oh, you have to try.
It's really tough, the timing to get it right, knowing where somebody's going to be. And I think you kind of saw that from TNC because they were hugging KP as tight as they could, trying to stay in the center of that circle. So Terrorblade going MKB Ags. I'm a big Ags fan on TV. I think that fear is really good, especially also the 10 seconds of metamorphosis you get with it
Dire's
too.
top tower is under attack.
It's a great Axe upgrade for sure.
Radiant's middle tower
Definitely
is
needs
under attack.
MKB before that to be able to deal with the evasion coming up from the Phantom Assassin. I look at the damage and it's just chains.
Trying to
Oh.
get JaCkky.
Dire's top
Thunderstrike
tower
is
under
maxed
attack.
out.
Ace is going to be reclaimed in 8
Dire's top
seconds. They need to be
tower
careful on the
has
timings for this.
Firestorm is such an awesome spell
Radiant's
if you have
bottom
any kind of
tower is
setup,
under attack.
and this time they do. Chains, kinetic field. Also, he built the Rod of Atos for himself.
On top of that, you've got Armel pressuring top. The tier 3 takes 30 damage, but he is knocking on the door, making T1 aware.
I don't think I've ever seen similar item build from an Underlord. Usually want to have something to tank up. Very limited on the armor. Like if he decides to go for that Ghost Scepter, you're just thinking about yourself. You can't cast that on allies. So I think Lotus Orb would be much better. Bounce back, let's say the Primal Roar, remove the Decrepify, great against the Soulbind.
It's a good pickup there. I like that neutral item. JaCkky moving over. They got a Paladin Sword, Orbit Destruction for TNC, and TB on this Ags, or on this MKB. He's got the Demon Edge, has enough for the Javelin, so just needs 1,600 more gold. And then I at least think TNC can certainly hold their high ground.
They sure can. With the buybacks, with the Firestorm, bit of Malice, one of the best defenses in the game. What the T1 is trying to do, possibly get a pick off, wait for the second Roche. They are the ones who are controlling the map with the Hawks, with the vision coming out from the Necro units. Double damage. Keeping that for Phantom Assassin. They even gave her a bottle.
Radiant are scanning.
Such a bro thing to do.
You know, always good to lift up your bro. Especially if they're, you know, in a bad spot, maybe lacking some damage.
Yeah, gotta take care of bros.
Top lane, Tim's will get out, Rolling Thunder. Karl will just tip him. Febby, not much to his name. Oh god, the bash is coming in with the double damage. JaCkky just ripped through the Underlord. Catching KP, a little bit of sleep at the wheel. And they get the kill onto the Underlord, dead for 40 seconds, with Roche
Radiant's
potentially
top tower
spawning in
is under
30.
attack.
MKB
Radiant
finished in
structures
500
are
gold for
fortified.
Gabbi. He needs to get there. And then maybe they can fight into this, but for now, T1, it feels like they control their own destiny at the moment.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That's why I said Underlord is not really tanky. We could see, I mean, it was double damage. Phantom Assassin dies in 3-4 hits. That's why I would love Lotus Orb, something that gives you armor. Ghost Scepter just gives you 5 stats, that's all. I mean, there's a difference in the cost of these two items, but for a reason.
Dire's bottom tower is under
So
attack.
MKB is getting delivered to
Dire's
Gabbi. Ags
structures are
next.
fortified.
T1 goes down. T1 putting the pressure on to the tier 2. Kuku will
Radiant's
hold
top
on to the
tower
spider
is
legs.
under
He's got
attack.
4-stab hood as well
Radiant's
as the
structures
Necro
are
3.
fortified. Dire's bottom tower has
JaCkky's
fallen.
just waiting here, looking for an opportunity, trying to finish off this
Radiant's
Abyssal
top
Blade.
tower is under attack.
He's really quite
Dire's
farmed, but
structures
TV
are
has kept
fortified.
up since he's been able to recover after the early game.
TB didn't die for the
Radiant's
20
top
minutes.
tower has fallen.
These are just deaths from the laning stage, those 3. And now he keeps farming, so T1 just playing it safe, wait for the next rows to respawn. There's Disruptor Courier inside a pit, there's also a Hawk, so they will see it when it scouts out when it spawns. So TNC uses a smoke, because they don't know the timer on the Roshan. They don't know if it's up or not.
Cycling Dagger on an illusion, critting for 1300.
Dire's
Dagger
bottom
and
tower is
I'm
under
dead.
attack.
See if that phrase does hold true.
Dire's are scattered.
The smoke, it puts them towards the mid lane, but it hasn't exactly put them next to the Roche pit or
Radiant's
into a
top
fight
tower
just
is under
yet.
attack.
And now there's a smoke from T1. They're doing the same exact thing from the
Dire's
other
bottom
side.
tower is
Karl,
under attack.
he gets spotted by the illusion. Let's see if they jump forward. They do. KP from half to
Top
dead.
tower is under attack.
Whoa, JaCkky with the damage. Didn't even need the Abyssal Blade for that one.
It's just too much damage.
Yeah.
He is not tanky at all. Has buyback available. He also went for Ether Lens, which is very weird. And so JaCkky
One
is just
shot.
ripping them apart right now.
It's never fun playing an underfarmed support against the Phantom Assassin that's got a lot. Buyback into the Metamorphosis. They got the start on the Phantom Assassin right into too deep. JaCkky's dead. No buyback. Kuku with the nets for the soul bind.
Double
Oh, it
roar, but
holds
that's
the
defensive
Ember.
one.
Keeps Kuku alive. Swashbuckle. And then BKB from Xepher. They all leave.
And that's
Roche
a
up in a
great
second.
respawn time for TNC. Tim's blink in. That's gonna get banged out. 2 buybacks instantly. They were waiting for that. Phantom Assassin's like, yeah, I cannot die. I just killed 2 heroes. We can take the fight 3 versus 5, no problem. But this MKB piercing through the evasion is just a bit too much. But TB is a hero that is transformation. Usually you don't give it to the transformation heroes. Here it's fine because he still deals a ton of right click damage with the reflection to slow them down. So all good here.
He's actually going into the BKB next, not the Ags.
I kind of like that more.
Yeah.
BKB is a safer choice, allows you to just stand your ground and fight. You have one defensive tool, that's Manta style. You can't get rid of like the Phantom, kill him fast enough, root, the Cryptify. The Cryptify is pretty much the biggest problem.
I still do like that Ags though, if he gets that after the BKB.
Sure.
It's
a great upgrade for sure.
I think that 10-second Metamorphosis is so underlooked at times. I think some teams kind of like...
No boots Ags rush, right?
You could. You might get yelled at for it. I was gonna say sometimes like it's like that first fight where Jug has Ags. If you haven't checked his items, he's Swift Slash. You think he's Omni'd you, but like he uses.
You realize.
Yeah.
You
If
know
you haven't
that
checked
it's
his items,
not the big one. Doesn't last long enough.
maybe you get a little bit baited by that. Potentially the 10-second Metamorphosis baits you as well.
Not sure what this Ether Lens is for. Increase the cast range on the Rod of Atos. Bit of Malice.
Coming in
Febby is just straight up dead.
They got the kill on the Febby very quickly. They'll take out Tim's and oh, the cheese just keeps the Underlord alive and allows them to leave via the Dark Rift.
Dire's bottom tower.
A lot of aggression from T1 where they are playing into Aegis and Cheese, still getting the kills. They understand they use 2 buybacks. If they can somehow kill the Underlord, that would be pretty big, and I feel T1 could still fight. If they manage to kill the Underlord 4 versus 5, even though there's still Aegis on TB, you know, take that fight. T1 just feels very strong at the moment, but they're also respecting the damage coming out from the Terrorblade.
Right. Yeah, the damage certainly felt. It caused JaCkky to go down in that fight that led to them picking up the Aegis on TNC. The BKB now down to 9 seconds for Phantom Assassin, about to pick up that Axe.
That's mostly because you want to have a way of dispelling things, not to refresh your abilities. Against Thunderstrike, against the root mechanics, that's really great. Disarm from Pango, Reflection, a lot of value from that Blur upgraded from the Ags. Looks really good. Also getting close to level 25, so it's going to help quite a lot with dealing more damage.
And we'll see if the Thunderstrikes are also just strictly put onto the Terrorblade. Really, Febby hasn't had many opportunities to get more than one out. The second he ends up throwing a Thunderstrike, he's pretty much dead to the PA in one shot. He's like, I did something. I'm dead. I'm 0-9-5. This is my game right now. But as is always the story with an under-farmed 5 against the Phantom Assassin, who is pretty far ahead.
Now she's massive right now. So is DB. Has that BKB done. And as you mentioned, like Falcon Blade, that item will be replaced soon. Already
just
in the
enough
backpack.
Space in the backpack. When do we get more backpacks?
I think 3 is pretty enough. Remember when you could use 4 neutral items? Like Huskar, good old times.
When supports weren't allowed to have neutral items? They'd all go to your cores. Fun times to be a support. T1 coming around. Gabbi still working on this tower. They'll grab it.
And support these days can't really complain, because back in my days, you know, you needed to have TP slot, observer slot, sentry ward slot. They were not combined. Then you need to have boots, possibly a dust, and a magic one. Like this was your life.
You had to walk up lane, uphill both ways, in the snow, no shoes on. Okay. Guys got to remember that. Very close to
Young Crystal Maiden's life. Timeless Relic, drop for both teams.
Oh.
I guess you just give it to Pugna.
Underlord's holding the other one.
Oh, it's great on Underlord. Longer Pit of Malice duration, longer Road of Atos. Just feels great to have. Pugna, however, on the other side, more magic damage coming up from Dagon. Longer to Cryptify. Just feels good.
I'm still hoping for the shard. Oh, Telescope and a Hex coming in for the Beastmaster.
Beastmaster's actually super farmed.
Yeah, he's got 1,500 or 15,000 gold.
You get double the value from this Hex because you have a Grimstroke.
Yeah. Soulbind items. This Underlord less farm than Xepher on the Crystal Maiden. But that's where a lot of the net worth lead comes in, right? Is so Maiden to the Pango and the Beastmaster to the Underlord. Like, your 1 and 2 are still keeping pace.
Yeah, they're very close.
And 11.
The big difference is Disruptor being really poor. Crystal Maiden, 3,000 gold. That's like 1 item ahead of a Pangolier. He has E on disc now.
He's been getting popped. Going into the shard next. Looking to roll up. And I believe, yeah, Basher was picked up for the TB. He's got a little damage bottle. They're going for the Phantom Assassin. Pops the BKB. Soulbind was used. There's the Remnant forward side of the Searing Chains come through, and as Whitemon dies, JaCkky's already used the BKB. It's about to run out in just a second. We're going the other way, but the Pit of Malice, it hits him. They got a Static Storm, no BKB. A lot of trouble for JaCkky, and Disruptor to try and get out. He just cleave killed Febby.
Febby's like, man, why is this happening to me? Like, I was not supposed to die. But yeah, PB double damage. What is that? The 600 plus, almost 700 damage on the hero. Not too bad.
Febby was like, I'm finally gonna survive a fight, and then just gets cleaved. How much did he just get cleaved for?
Oh my god, Febby having a rough one. Oh, that's a lot of damage from Pugna.
Yeah. Take out that ward. Okay, and some.
And this time was Relic actually. Extra 15% spell damage,
Dire's top
the
tower is
Cryptify,
under attack.
plus Blast, take on a combo.
There's a Tome Grimstroke trying to get to 18. Have that extra Soulbind duration and the cast range on it. Oh, they found themselves KP again.
First time I saw you, I knew where you were headed.
Man, he just feels like
Amazing what you'll
he
find.
cannot
man.
survive many interactions. And Xepher going for Febby. Febby just minding his own business
Maiden
here.
use a BKB. He wants Febby. He wants him hard. He wants him bad, yeah, and they get him. So Pugna,
Dragon 5, wow.
surprised that Underlord once again didn't go for Hood this game. There's a ton of magical damage. Pugna with Crystal Maiden. Not a single, like, real defensive tanky item. No Crimson, no Vanguard, just the, the casual plate mail that he has right now. I don't think you get a lot of value from this Ether Lens, to be honest.
Dire's bottom tower is
kinda-
under attack.
Interesting to have that Aether Lens.
If you're defending the base with Ether Lens, there's a bit of Malice,
Dire's
Firestorm from
bottom
far
tower
away,
is under attack.
then you get something from the
Yeah.
item. But if you're outside of the base, you're kind of, man, I wish I had something else.
Yeah, for sure. It just does not feel like he's survivable in many interactions, like I've been saying, and like you've been saying too. He seems to soak up damage, but just because he's soaking it doesn't mean he survives it. And many times we've seen him die in 2-3 shots from just, dagging or the crits.
At least he didn't go for that Ghost Scepter, instead getting that Lotus Orb I talked about, so you can bounce back the spells. This Roshan dies pretty quickly. Cheese Refresher and Aegis, of course.
They know this is going on. They have Rolling Thunder. They need to check. Armel needs to go forward, but he remnants back. He just fought for 3. Refresher Shard for Kuku. He'll pop the Minotaur Horn. And they just get that for free. I'm surprised that TNC just let that go.
Free Roshan always feels good.
Uh-oh. Gabby's holding a flicker. Here
We've
comes
seen
the
some
real-
fun interactions yesterday in Chinese regions where Flicker just refused to
Radiant
work
structures
properly.
are
I mean,
fortified.
yeah, it blinks you, but always the wrong way where you want to go. This game, I think it's really good, removing the slows, silences. Most likely, you just want to dodge combo from Pugna with the Decrypify, and Pugna hit level
Dire's
25,
bottom
so
tower is
Nether
under
Blast
attack.
damage brings it to almost full 500.
T1
Dire's
We didn't
bottom
have a
tower
team
is
fight
under
for
attack.
a little while.
like 20 minutes, right?
Dire's bottom tower.
There was
Here
a
and
one,
there.
One hero died.
They got the
Febby
kill
was-
onto the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, and Febby died. Didn't even
cleave.
wanted to die, just
Dire's bottom
Casualty
tower
of
is
war.
under attack.
Casualty of standing too close. Bottom tier 3 getting pressured by these creeps once again from the Radiant side. Ooh, Searing Chain. Xepher pops the BKB, but there's the Abyssal. Gabbi
Gabbi's mad. He's like, I'm getting this Maiden. You know, she caused me a lot of
Radiant's middle
issues, a
tower
lot of
is under
pain in the
attack.
laning stage. I'm getting back to her. I see Heart of Tarask. So, wants to be able to tank up the illusions.
Extra cast range now for the Disruptor. Breathing a sigh of relief that maybe, just maybe, he can sit a little bit further back and not die. But here's hoping. He's got
One
his
can
fingers
only
crossed.
hope. Phantom Assassin, double damage in the bottle. See who they find. KP.
JaCkky, KP, crits coming in, and Gabbi with the damage. They go after JaCkky. Oh, did he get away? No.
What is this damage from Terrorblade?
It's gone. Now the soul by BKB, but he's got the Abyssal. They're going for the kill on the JaCkky, who will Phantom Strike away. Rolling Thunder hits on a Kuku. Armel with BKB, trying to chase, trying to find a target here. Static Storm, they got the glimpse, they got JaCkky! Febby getting it done! Gabbi's got the kill! And now, oh god, getting both BKBs out. It's actually the Minotaur Horn from Kuku. The right clicks from Gabbi. Nobody can beat this terribly. The bash is in!
Oh, they
man.
They know. First hit bash from Thims. Now they're going for the high ground. Man, this damage from the Terrorblade is actually insane. Phantom Assassin
so
just doesn't
hard.
feel like a hero.
No, got caught twice and just melted.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
5x from both the Pugna as well as the Beastmaster. Little glyph right away, and well, Terrorblade's got 8,000 gold to work with. He's thinking about what he wants. Soulbind Silence, Hex comes in onto the TV as well as this Ember Spirit. They go to the front order to follow it up. They get the kill on Armel. They look over the TV. Silence,
can't get it off.
again, and Gabbi's gone.
That's the combo. Like double roar, double Decryptify, double Dagon, and the Hex afterwards to finish it off. I like how JaCkky was, you know, I'm good, I'm not buying back. One of the reasons why I'm not buying back is because I don't have enough gold. I'm just watching my team do the rest.
Carry who needs him. Don't need the Phantom Assassin to get those 2 kills.
Amazing what you'll find.
I want to see what Terrorblade's item is going to be. It's still hard queued up, but probably thinking, is there a better choice? Is there something that's going to keep me alive? A Lotus Orb, not done yet on the Underlord. I would love to see like a Lincoln Sphere, possibly one more,
Watch
maybe.
this again.
Yeah, it's just
Phantom's
some
Embrace,
sick
X,
amount of damage.
The double life drain, and then just blown up by the Nether Blast. Karl. They don't want to buy back on this TNC side. They do have Firestorm from a distance, keeping them from going onto the high ground. Phantom Assassin finally shows up again.
Radiant's bottom
JaCkky needs to be
tower is under
very,
attack.
very careful, as we've seen him melt multiple times. And I think TNC should be willing to give up at least a set of racks, as it is pretty difficult for Team 1 to take them. They've got the disarm. There's a automated toast with the Pit of Malice. That'll claw up again,
Radiant's
locking him
bottom
down
towers are
a
under
lot.
attack.
And they finally get the melee racks, but if you're a TNC fan, that's okay. You didn't buy back on your 2 cores that need buyback coming into this next fight.
So TV is committing, going for the heart, wants to tank up, have some kind of region extra to be able to get in and out of the fight. Like, if it was the old patch, Satanic would just be the best item because it gave status resistance. Now it doesn't anymore. And the new heart feels, I'll say, better in every case, but most of the time, heart just feels good. But there's the Lotus Orb done. If they manage to bounce back like a Roar and possibly a Soulbind, that would be pretty big.
So they have a Hex on Beastmaster, a Hex on Pugna.
Double damage.
Hex on Soulbind, Hex. Could be big problem for TNC. But we'll see. Roche, minimum respawn is still a little ways out. Level 25 for Terrorblade. Level 25 really around quite a lot of these heroes. Ember, TB, Pango, PA Pugna, but 2 about to hit it for T1. Both the Crystal Maiden and the Beastmaster closing in on him. Man, Xepher is super farmed. And I can't say it enough. And they're going for another Hex. They're going for a third Hex.
So you know you're gonna get like 2 hexes, soulbind duration on level 3 is 8 seconds, so you might actually, you know, just disable 2 heroes for a very long time.
Wow. Whitemon, if he gets caught here though, I don't know. Actually, if Armel gets caught here, he's been hexed. He rolls the Phantom's Embrace. They've got the light drain, the damage, and the kill onto the Ember. He didn't buy back in the last fight, means he still has it. But that is a great pickoff for T1.
2k gold lead for them doesn't mean anything at this point. Next Roche may respawn in 40 seconds. PA's like, I need some armor. You know, I need to tank up. Playing into TB, he's just dismantling me. Decides to buy AC, which could backfire, you know, against a reflection. He just pops it, and then they have minus armor. So not that great of an item, but it's gonna give her some extra survivability in the team fights.
So we'll see what T1 can do with this. Obviously, they're now working with Biox on the Pugna and the Beastmaster. Not enough gold for the PA. We'll see how comfortable they are fighting Roche. Minimum respawn time is up, and it should be a quicker Roche. As we see, we're already a fourth of the way there, so it is a quick one, which will be a big fight. 4th Roche, Aegis Cheese, Refresher Shard, Ag's Blessing. You know TB was looking for that Ags. Now he can just pick it up via the Blessing if they get the kill onto the Roche. And he's got it queued up here still. So an opportunity certainly for Gabbi to spend that money elsewhere. Ooh, Gleipnir being built by the Ember. Gleipnir?
You call it whatever you want, my friend. I'm fine with whatever. Wow, why is he going Gleipnir? Maybe he thinks they need more. Like, it's... I see a lot of Arc Warden players build that item. I'm just really not convinced by it, where it just feels so underwhelming. You don't get the attack speed as you do from the Mjolnir, and the double Mjolnir in the fights feels much better, at least on the Arc Warden.
For the Ember, though.
For the Ember, maybe he just wants to keep people in place. You know, there are BKBs, but loot people inside Firestorm, keep them in place so TB can deal the damage. Still feels there's a better item choice. Like if you want to go, you can upgrade your Xepher, see how things are going to go out. Maybe you need a bit more damage, get the Daedalus, possibly get Eon Disc so you can still just get bursted, even though you have a Lincoln Sphere, but would still prefer a bit more damage, and Gleipnir doesn't provide you with that much damage.
Right. So, sending the Necro Creeps in as well as a Boar just to scout this Roche. They also had the Hawk over there. Smoke used by TNC. And they're up here on the high ground, T1, waiting to make something happen. Don't know if you take a quick enough Roche on the side of TNC to even try to sneak this. This smoke, they pick up an Invis. They've got Armel coming back over bottom just to clean up a little bit.
Something we didn't talk about is like the Pugna Timeless Relic Hex. Also, Crystal Maiden is holding a ceremonial robe, so lowering the status resistance by 10 and magic resist by 10. So, like, this Hex is gonna last for more than 4.5 seconds, which is pretty big. AoE status resist minus reduction.
Bissell being built there for the Pangolier. I mean, maybe they can jump these heroes. It's going to be very difficult. These hexes just seem like enough control. What do you do if you get hexed up?
Grimstroke building towards the Aghanim Scepter. That's a big one. If they can get that item against the TB, like, you have Illusion that deals 150% of the damage. Magic immune. Sounds good. And you can make 2 of those, like TB +1 when you use a Soulbind.
Oh, Dark Portrait. He's almost got it. Only 1,000 gold away. And again, Ag's Blessing is going to drop on the next Roche if anybody does finally take it. Seems like both these teams sitting at a bit of a stalemate as they just don't feel comfortable just yet, but as I say that, T1, this time they smoke. They're going to try and make something happen, though they're going the wrong direction right now. They might be able to wrap all the way around and find TNC coming from the back.
Are scanning.
Courier in the trees for TNC. TNC now in the river. There's an arcane rune right there.
High ground advantage for T1.
They got the Lincolns, they got the Xepher. How do you put that back? The Soulbind down. I think that got reflected. They've got the Soulbind on both the Disruptor as well as the Underlord. They're getting the kill on this Armel. Ember, but LPA going down in the Static Storm. First one gone, has buyback. We'll see if she uses it. Karl on the run with the BKB. The buyback comes out from the Ember. They'll take out Karl. Karl and JaCkky are gone. This should be Roche for the side of TNC. They're trying to chase this Grimstroke Inkswell, but it's not going to be enough to survive with the BKB popped by Armel, and he will get the kill on the Grimstroke. 3 heroes gone on the side of T1.
Armel is 3-2-1 picking up that Aegis because he just bought back Gabbi. He has enough money to actually buy the... I think you give this Aghanim Scepter to Disruptor. He's far away from it, but I feel like you should give it to him. It's pretty big. Pangolier, where's that Axe? It's on the ground. Come on. Febby, pick it up. Febby.
Pango took it. And I don't want to have anything as a position 6.
I mean, Bash is fine, you know, when during the Rolling Thunder, but it's much easier to set things up with the Static Storm Aghanim Scepter upgrade. And he's also not, like, going for it. Febby is just being not greedy enough, I would say. Yeah. 2 buybacks.
And no buyback used by the Fan Assassin just yet. Remnant forward, searing chains. They've got the root onto this Pugna. BKB running away. They've got the leash onto the Terrorblade as well as the Ember. They're using these right clicks, trying to get something done, but there's the Primal War coming out from the Beastmaster. Roll in from Tim's. Kuku forced to use his own BKB. There's the freezing field as well as the BKB. They go to the Dark Rift, but Gabbi with the Abyssal Blade, they get that kill on Xepher. He's going to buy back immediately. And there's the Dark Rift away. 5-star Uber.
Gets them all out. So, yeah, 3 buybacks from T1. Now they have Cheese. Who's holding the refresher?
Terribly.
TB is? Okay.
And there's the Whitemon. So let's take a look at this again. Xepher goes in, immediately hit with that Abyssal. No way for him to get a full freezing field off. It was the right thought. Just not going to happen. Really tough going in right next to the TB who can stop it with that Abyssal immediately.
If I was a Grimstroke here, I would just sell Magic Wand, sell a Force Staff, and buy Aghanim Scepter.
Go for the Dark Portrait.
Sell everything except the Blink Dagger, and you need that Dark Portrait.
Dire are scanning.
Item recommendations? Ags? Essentially. I don't know if that showed up on your screen.
Yeah, it did. It did. Not sure how is that possible.
Ooh, Divine Rapier here for the Phantom Assassin. 3 straight games with Divine Rapier.
So far, for those people who just tuned in, Phantom Assassin lost all games so far.
Trying to break the curse. Not turn into Spectre. Can't break that curse. Wind Waker being built for the Pangolier. So we'll see how this game will conclude potentially soon, because it's my favorite point in the game. We're right around the tier 5s.
Can't believe this.
Time to talk about it.
Game has been going on for 57 minutes. TB bumps the meta. Look at that range
for the Crystal Maiden. Yeah, look at the range coming in. Life Drain, Flicker, putting him in a better position, having better luck right now than Erica did yesterday.
Available again.
Flicker still not hurting him. I think it's a risky game. You play too many times, you're gonna get burned eventually. They've got the Hex. Now JaCkky jumping in, looking for the counter. They've got the right as well. The fast. They've got the Pangolier that's gonna be down for a bounce back onto the Beastmaster. They got the Koenig Gabbi. He's dead for 97 seconds without buyback. Static Storm is down. That's out of a couple of these heroes. They don't follow it up.
What's the firestorm?
Dire's middle barracks.
Oh, Pugna with the saves. I think she would live anyway, but man, that firestorm damage is insane. And now, Underlord, level 25, Timeless Relic.
I know nobody's taking that Divine Rapier, but that was
Malice.
close.
Like, it's just insane. Disable duration 2.45. then you add Timeless Relic on top of that, you're like almost perma-rooted.
Radiant are scanning.
Gabbi needs to be careful.
Yeah, hexed, stunned, and then just the damage coming in. Bounce back to have Primal Roar. Look at that, Crystal Maiden dropping Thunder Strike, Firestorm, Static Storm, or Thunder Strike, not Thunderstorm. Glimpse back on a Kuku, gets the best from the Swashbuckle, but they've hexed up the Ember, they've got the Lotus Orb, and now Phantom's Embrace. Oh god, JaCkky just rips through both Febby and kpii.
He's still chasing, does not have a vision. So how are we buyback-wise? TB has one, he does not want to use it, of course, because about to respawn. Ember doesn't have one, so he should be very careful. Still ages for another 20 seconds. Man, this game could go either way. Like, doesn't matter. The
Tier
network
5s.
lead, and finally, Grimstroke finds that the gold, gets
Dark
the Aghanim
Portrait.
Scepter, and also hits level 25, Inkswell Radius. We're actually getting closer to level 30 on some heroes.
Oh,
Phantom
yeah.
Assassin very close. How's Pugna doing? Level 28.
Terrain Core, another Divine queued up for the Phantom Assassin. You've got 29 for the Ember, 28 for the TB. Let's see. It's time to play the lottery. Tier 5 time.
Let's go.
Mirror Shield, that you're already winning.
Is that cheating?
Maybe.
16 stats and Ballista. They don't have the good hero to carry
Yeah.
Ballista. They're like, man, wish
Mirror
we had a
Shield,
Drow
okay.
Ranger or a Sniper. Mirror Shield.
Do they get Ballista? That would be
That would be
a
dope.
big one. They're hoping. Both teams are searching. They get the bounty runes, picking those up. That gold under their belt, holding these buybacks, looking, searching, trying to get something to drop.
You need to be very careful how you're using your spells. There's like Lincoln Sphere, Lotus Orb, Mirror Shield available on the Ember Spirit.
Oh,
Deso
Stygian
too.
Desolator.
All right, she'll take that one. It actually stacks with the Deso, which is pretty insane.
Wait. That is so far T1. I know Ballista doesn't work for the team. That's always like, that's a good one. I feel like Book of the Dead and Force Boots. See, like, you know, that or Stygian Desolator. It feels like the latter. Book of the Dead.
So he decides to get Force Boots. It's also a Dispel, which is nice. Double the cooldown of a Flicker, but still okay-ish. Book of the Dead. I just feel like that item is a bit underwhelming.
Fallen
Oh, that's a
Sky.
good one.
That
It's
is
like-
the final one.
You can just initiate with the Fallen Sky. Let's see who's gonna take that one. I guess you just give it to Pango. He's holding a Stormcrafter for now.
You'd expect it, right? He's still holding that Stormcrafter, though. Mirror Shield for the Pugna. Minotaur Horn with the BKB available for the Beastmaster. Divine, or a second one being
They
built
didn't
for the Phantom
find-
Assassin.
2 tier 5 items on side of T1, I think.
They got Ballista,
Oh, they got Ballista.
Desolator, and Mirror Shield.
Yeah,
There's
no one
the
wants
Fallen
that
Sky.
Ballista. Not much use of the item.
Radiant will take it. Somebody wants it.
So yeah, Pango has the Fallen Sky, one of the coolest items in the game for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, just, you know, having an ability to transform into Meteor.
It was pretty cool. Stifling daggers coming out and just obliterating creep waves. Creeps around the world have shuddered in
Dire's
fear.
bottom tower is under
Windwaker almost for the Pangolier. That is a lot of gold saved up. He doesn't have a Yules already. He's building the whole thing.
Straight into it.
Yeah. 1,000 gold till the double divine for the Phantom Assassin, who is now level 30. All the talents, they have been unlocked. Ember's almost got 30.
Underlord's going for E-Blade. I don't think you can use E-Blade successfully enough. Maybe after PA uses a BKB, then you use it Honor, but it's gonna be tough. I would prefer like
Oh, here they go. They go for the Terrorblade. They're trying to get the kill. Oh, Gabbi blown up. Tim's with the Rolling Thunder. They've got the Life Drain onto the Ember. All they got so far is Gabbi. They're trying to Dark Rift away. They're thinking about going out of this one. Tim's comes in with the Rolling Thunder, and they're gone.
So TB gone, still has buyback, of course, didn't use it for a very long time.
Terribly got nothing off.
Now, he also bought the shard upgrade, the Demon Seal, which gives, yeah, it gives him more move speed and more attack speed.
Oh, another Roche. Ooh, this is really good for T1.
Max Blessing. Maybe you give it a Pugna. Pugna's taking it. Crystal Maiden wouldn't be too bad of a choice.
No, now you get the shard, and then the ultimate suck is possible.
I don't think you need a shard. You know, it doesn't feel that great at this point.
Giant's Ring.
There's the one.
Ooh.
You give it to Beastmaster, I think.
Who's taking the Giant's Ring? There it is. Look how big Beastmaster is. Really does look like a beast.
Very balanced. Look at him walking over the cliffs. Not sure why that is a thing, but okay.
I'm just gonna say T1 really made out well with their tier 5s.
Because they found Ballista, they're like, what do we need? Okay, Giant's Ring, we'll take that one.
They asked their local fortune teller what they'd get, and they got Giant's Ring. We'll roll the dice.
I'll take that.
We didn't mention shard upgrade on the Beastmaster, which is a cool one. Not because of the bomb dive, but because you can
Control your
micro your Hawk, so that's a pretty big deal.
Disruptor's getting close to 25. There's the Wind Waker. Maybe save the TB.
Radiant
That's,
are
you know,
scanning.
the point of contention. That's who you want to be saving. Even with all that, the Ag's Blessing and the Roche taken and everything, TNC are still holding a lead. And by the way, it seems like TB's been 28 forever.
Yeah, he's been just farming with the illusions, not getting too much XP. Shard also on the Disruptor. Thunderstrike can be cast on allies, also gives 50% move speed and 75 attack speed. So they want to pop everything on TV. Like, look at him go.
KP pretty far forward. Hit a Malice. Gabbi nearby, needs to be careful, gets spotted. Take out those Necro Creeps by T1. They're nearby. Throw those axes. Spot the illusion. Kuku just Giant's Ring. Free movement. Very balanced.
Look at this reflection. Yeah. Didn't know that's a thing, but apparently it is.
It would have been funnier if it was normal size. And they'll use this Hawk. They're going to get vision. They'll see the entire side of TNC. So an opportunity for T1 to really jump the high ground and surprise them. They're spread out. JaCkky just invis. Stifling daggers come in, so they know exactly where he is. Gabbi over to the side. Firestorm to keep T1 away. They're trying their darnest to wait out this Aegis. Buyback. Everybody but Pango and Grimstroke.
At this point, like, Firestorm deals a ton of damage. You just need to survive through initial burst, keep them in place, use it multiple times. There's one Eon Disc on the Underlord, one on the Disruptor, and one on Pangolier. So 3 Eon Discs. Let's see how many do they have. One on Pugna, and that's pretty much it on the dire side.
This is another one of those games where I just think Ags on the Disruptor makes such a big difference.
It's a huge difference. Like, that's just me. I'd sell Glimmer Cape by Aghanim Scepter straight away. I can understand that he's holding a buyback right now.
But he's got Refresher. If you can get them both down, you're doing so much in the fight.
Too much, you know, ignoring the items. You can't pop a BKB, you can't hex.
Firestorm on top of both of those, or on top of one, like...
He's getting the gold with the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Has almost
Hex
enough more
comes
for
through. Inkswell. Now they go after KP. That's going to be in the hand of this pop. They've got the Static Storm. JKB that gets popped. Cheese is eaten. They're trying to go after JaCkky with the Rolling Thunder coming through. The BKB is no longer going to last on the JaCkky. They've got him glimpsed back right into the hands of Gabbi. They've had to go into the Phantom Assassin. Yes, they do with the Pin of Malice right down on him. They've got him locked to the Pin of Malice. The Aegis is going to be used. So can they get a second go on the Phantom Assassin with BKB being popped by Kuku? They've got the Hex onto Gabbi, but damage coming out of the PA. They've got the Divine Radiant now. Jump on the deck. Can they pick it up? They look over
Kuku with the BKB. He's trying to run, but he's passed up and killed. 3 heroes got on the side of T1. The only ones to get away are Grimstroke and this Crystal Maiden. And they bought back on the Ember just like that. TNC, they've got control of the Divine Rapier, control of the game, and looking like they might be able to pull out the series.
So TB is holding a Divine Rapier. He says, screw Monkey King Bard. I'm gonna have True Strike coming up from that Divine Rapier. Phantom Assassin has enough gold to actually buy a new Divine Rapier. Yeah, it's there. Not sure if he has enough money to actually buy Rapier and the buyback. At this point, the buybacks are very costly. Let's see the buybacks. I mean, you probably need to buy back here because they will go. They will hit your buildings.
Even with the Aegis unable to survive, 2 cheeses on the Phantom Assassin. Buybacks get used. There's the fear pushing back 2 heroes. Gets that extra 10 seconds of the Metamorphosis. And now there's the Glyph. Rolling Thunder coming through. Tim's like a train rolling in without the brakes. Swashbuckle away. They've got the Dark Portrait chasing after these heroes. Gabbi will work on that. Gets a first hit. Bash will take care of it pretty easily. 22 seconds until PA is up.
PA
Come
still
up and
not
find
buying
one
back.
Rapier. Oh, BKBs and Dark Rift away. So they just leave.
They got the melee barracks, they leave. Aghanim Scepter finally done on a Disruptor. I believe he used a refresher in the previous fight because I can't see it. Yeah.
This'll come in handy.
It's a big game changer. Like,
Yeah.
casting it, let's say, on a Phantom Assassin, they have no saves for PA besides, like, a Decrypify. But, you know, even if you get a Static Storm off, she can use a BKB. She's gonna melt the Static Storm and possibly Firestorm.
Precious bounty.
Do you like the kinetic field duration or the glimpse cooldown? Because he took the kinetic field +3, but didn't take the
Yeah,
glimpse
for sure.
-8.
Like, when you have this ulti, the late game, you don't get that much from the glimpse cooldown.
Right.
Radiant are
So
scanning.
now, Divine Rapier in the hands of Terrorblade has those Force Boots, MKB Refresher Orb, and Bots 2, and you're 9 slotted on Gabbi.
Still has buyback. Like, you have a Shard, you have Aghanim Scepter upgrade.
11 slotted, really?
He can actually get one more item that's a Moon Shard.
Get the full 12. The dozen.
They're going
Smoke's
in.
gonna be broken. They'll drop down the Pit of Malice. Now they'll look over the Swashbuckle. That's gonna miss. T1 by the skin of their teeth evade TNC.
PA rebought a Rapier. Man, she deals a sick amount of damage, but so does TB at this point.
Yeah, and it's really just been the ability to catch this Phantom Assassin. It's always the things into the Static Storm and then the Abyssal right on top. They've been able to pop that Aegis every time the Phantom Assassin has had it very quickly in these fights.
Late game Dota is just chaotic. You know, one mistake could make a lot of a difference. You know,
Do they
these
know this
items
courier?
like a Wind Waker, who can save allies, like
Yeah.
new Shard upgrades,
Dire's
TB.
bottom tower
Like,
is under
there's gonna be
attack.
so much attack speed when he uses Demon Zeal. Disruptor uses Thunderstrike on him,
Right.
which is a Shard upgrade. So Disruptor could start thinking about getting the Aghanims for himself for now, just saving a buyback. His buyback cost is like around 2,000, but should be okay.
TD has 61,000 net worth. That's such a big number. Oh my, get the Moon Shard, please. I want to see
Dire's bottom tower is
how
under
high
attack.
that can go.
His buyback is 5,300.
So much. And he still can almost afford the first Hyperstone. He needs to be careful. Oh my god. Honestly ridiculous. And we're gonna get down to potentially, what, 6th road?
I stopped counting after 5th, I believe, but yeah, I think this is
it's
gonna be a
6th.
6th Roche.
And if we don't know how to count, just blame it on NA, because that's my counting skills. Where they come
That's
from.
what we do.
So, Roche back up, T1 postured on this. They need to be careful though, because TNC, they're knocking on the door, looking ready to go on the base. You're by Roche, but that's the sound of TNC right by your steps.
At this point of the game, I'd say mega creeps don't matter. Like, you just need to win
Remnant
two
and
fights in a row.
That misses, but the Remnant's still searching, looking, trying to catch this Beastmaster sleight of fist. That lands on a Kuku for a second. Now they've got the Glepnir forcing out the BKB. Oh, can he stop it? Yes, they
Abyssal,
can.
yes,
There's the
they
Abyssal, and they'll get the kill on the Beastmaster. He bought back 2 minutes without Kuku.
Ooh, man, that's not a place to be. Kuku, they needed that roar. They need that second sight. He's also like getting a day gun. He doesn't know what to buy anymore.
He's out of ideas. And by the way, Pango 30, Ember 30.
By the way,
Dire's
Roach
bottom
respawned.
tower is under attack.
Do they go back and take it?
It's a possibility, but
Sorry, force staff, fake height. Apologize.
Dire's
Ember
bottom
can still
tower
pick it
is
up because
under
his
attack.
buyback is pulled down.
They're going in. They'll use the Abyssal Blade. They're trying to get the kill on the Terrorblade. He's shot! Divine Rapier on the deck once again, and now it's looking like the BKB's been coming Ember, but he's lost in the Stormvine. Venom
There's
Assassin
the
might not get
glaive.
into
She's
it.
dead.
JaCkky's gone.
She
without
doesn't have enough
buyback.
money for buyback.
Oh dear, they've got the shield crash right on top of the Grimstroke, and it's going to be popped here by Tim's, but
On
Gabbi
that
back into
game,
the fight.
they have no damage. Speak up. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
Under attack. Dire's bottom
Can maybe slow this down, not sure how long they can. It's only 300 gold away for the Phantom Assassin. If they can get something, maybe the buyback will be there, but it's not looking likely. There they go after the tier 4s. There's the Ink Swell, Thunderstrike. Tim's going in, but he's gonna die. The life drain is enough. They pop the Lincoln's Karl on the run. They catch up with this Pugna. Survives life drain, still up. BKB, Karl on the run. Slight's not gonna be enough. Life drain again. Eventually, Pugna makes it back inside the base. KP now needing to run out of here.
And time to hit the throne.
There's the
Like,
tier
just
4.
ignore the heroes, hit the throne with all the illusions,
Yeah.
take the game.
There it is.
There it is.
Will take the game. They'll continue over 2-1. A very close 75-minute game. Back and forth. It was anybody's game for the last, what, 40 minutes?